Ora chiamo sul palco l'amico Lorenzo Lobasso, giornalista inviato Rai. Lo avete visto a lungo su Rai 1, quest'estate ha condotto Agorà su Rai 3. Ora giornalista di Rai News 24, che ricordo essere media partner di ComoLake.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ciao Claudio, grazie. Ciao. Che presentazione fantastica. Buon pomeriggio ComoLake 2023. Ciao Cernobbio. Allora, vi sento un po' fiacchi, forse quella cosa del post pranziale che era evocato prima dall'amministratore delegato Cattaneo e dalla ministra Bernini. Allora facciamoci un applauso di incoraggiamento anche per il nostro anfitrione, il sottosegretario Butti, che ha organizzato questa 3 giorni di visione. Insomma, ci sono delle parole che girano: la visione, il legittimo interesse. Adesso le recuperiamo in questo concitato pomeriggio, si alterneranno tra gli altri qui sul palco anche il ministro Urso, il ministro Musumeci, che mi dicono essere in arrivo. 3 giorni così importante che ieri il Presidente del Consiglio Meloni ha mandato un messaggio parlando proprio della transizione digitale, transizione energetica e transizione di quello di cui parleremo adesso, ovvero della mobilità, un vero e proprio tsunami tecnologico che l'Italia deve dominare e riuscire a trasformare in un volano per riaffermare quel ruolo primario che una grande nazione come l'Italia si merita nello scenario dei principali players globali. C'è una cosa fondamentale che occorre per trasformare questa opportunità in realtà. Qualcuno di voi ha un'opinione su che cosa potrebbe essere? Avanti, non siate timidi, c'è una parola da aggiungere. Come dice? Ripeto la domanda, c'è una parola chiave che ci aiuta a trasformare tutto questo da una possibilità a una realtà da cogliere. Qual è? Allora, connessione, professione, una parola fondamentale è la visione. È la visione che prospetta le politiche del futuro. Le politiche, in questo caso, noi adesso andiamo ad approfondire con questi panel alternati una serie di visioni sul futuro della trasformazione della mobilità, che insomma riguarda tutti noi, da quando mettiamo benzina, quando pensiamo di andare a prendere un amico o i nostri figli a scuola. Allora io chiamo per il primo intervento di questa reprise del pomeriggio, eccolo lì, un grande visionario di fama mondiale, il professor Carlos Moreno. Bienvenue, monsieur le professeur. Come ça va? Allora, molto bene, molto bene. Professor, you can talk in English. You have an hard challenge now. It's about to, give us a dream, a vision of a future, of a different possibility of living. So let us dream with you. And you know your time is so short.
10 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very happy to be here. Molto piacere di stare qui. I will speak in English for this 10 minutes on this new paradigm for living differently in our cities, the proximity revolution, the 50-minute city concept. This concept was coined in Paris. I am a researcher at Sorbonne University in Paris. I have started my research in 2010 for proposing, after the COP21 in Paris, how could we develop more livable cities with a strong reduction of CO2 emissions and at the same time to improve the local economy, local activities, local employment, and to develop more social interactions. In October 2016, a few months after the COP21, I proposed this concept, the 15-minute city, the città dei 15 minuti, and I proposed 4 key elements for transforming our lifestyle, our work style. Proximities for accessing to different services in all city. The social mixity and the functional mixity for providing different new business model in cities with a lot of different services for satisfying our essential needs. The first one, density for avoiding this sprawl city, for having a more compact city, and in this sense, to have the possibility for mutualizing different services. And the fourth one, ubiquity, to use the digital technologies for providing more and more services, for working differently with the remote technologies, and these 4 points, proximities, mixity, densities, ubiquity, are the core of the 15-minute city concept launched in October 2016. At this moment, for 3 years, a lot of people consider that it was an utopia, that it was impossible to work differently, to reduce our daily commute, to have more services in proximity, even to change the business model of cities. I am a researcher and I am Parisian as well. For 3 years, from 2010 until 2019, I had the possibility for experiencing this model in 3 different districts in Paris. The mayor of Paris, Ms. Anne Hidalgo, has considered in 2019 that it is possible really to transform this model for deploying this new capability. In 2020, in February 2020, the mayor of Paris said, I wanted to deploy the 15-minute city in Paris. Unfortunately, a few months after, we have lived with the planetary COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of mayors around the world were interested in to take this model for living and for work differently during the pandemic. And today, 3 years after the pandemic, this model is deployed in all cities worldwide. The United Nations Habitat has embraced this model. The global movement of the 15-minute city has been created with a lot of different organizations and mayors around the world. Big metropolises, middle cities, small cities, even rurality. We have opened a new dialogue for proposing a new vision for changing our daily life, our work styles in cities and in territories. Today, I want to say that we have a global common enemy, climate change, in an urbanized world. Cities are today the strategic point for switching from our traditional model towards a new model. We need to live differently. We need to reduce the long daily commute. You need to use more and more the building that existed today. We need to develop more economical and social local interactions for transforming our segmented, fractured, zoned cities in a more livable, more friendly cities. In all continents today, we have deployed this model based on the integration of the different functions in proximity. The key point is to develop a massive polycentric city, a massive polycentric territory. We have proposed, instead of to have a segment city with the different functions, it depends on the long commute, we have proposed to develop a new urban and territorial model. This model, it is very simple, a happy proximity, a strong functional mixity, a high quality societal life. This is the core of our proposal. On the left, a polycentric city, and the core, 6 essential functions for providing a new business model in cities. To live in the good conditions, to work without a daily commute, to offer local employment, local activities, short circuits, a more vibrant localism, to develop more proximity for access into medical services, to access to culture, education, entertainment in proximity, and to enjoy with more greener public space. More habitability and more short to low carbon distances. We have proposed this model, the rainbow of the high quality of societal life, to offer the possibility for creating the new business model with the private companies, to offer more social activities in the different neighborhoods, to offer more local activities in the public spaces, and to adapt the different business models, to adapt the different services to the profile of inhabitants who live in the different cities. Of course, the shorter distances are not the same for children, teenagers, the adults, or elderly people. We have developed a different capabilities for creating different services regard of the profile of different cities and dwellers of inhabitants. Today, we have the possibility for customizing the different services in proximity using the digital technologies, using the databases, the geolocalization. We have today a lot of possibilities for using better the different infrastructure that exists today, for provoking the multi-purpose functions, for developing a new scorecard, for giving a more habitability in our different cities. This movement, just for finishing in 2 minutes, is a global movement with the same vision and different implementation around the world. In Europe, in America, in North America, in South America, in Asia, in Africa, we have today a global movement for a different urban and territorial proximity with the same concept and the different nicknames. The 10-minute city in Brussels, the 20-minute territory in Australia, the vital districts in South America, the complete districts in Canada. We are today a global movement for implementing and developing this concept. 10 minutes, 00. Thank you, Lorenzo.
1, 2, 3, ok. Allora, lei parla anche italiano, lo so io.
Capisco totalmente
Capisce molto bene l'italiano. Allora, con la forza di un visionario, il professor Moreno la fa un po' facile. You make, the sense of transforming our habits of living. It's so easy in projection because you are about in a vision, in a sort of river. But you know also very well our country, conosce chiaramente molto bene l'Italia e l'ama molto il professor Moreno. In Italia, quanto è effettivamente realizzabile questo progetto di città a misura d'uomo, questa rivoluzione culturale che ci porta da una parte nel futuro e dall'altra parte nel passato? In Italia, quanto è facile farlo, professore?
Sì. In Italy, I have the honor to be the president of the scientific committee of the architects, urbanists, landscapers, conservators in Italy. I know very, very well Italy. In our scientific council, we have worked today for proposing at the end of this year to the national government our proposals for implementing this model. We have a strong cooperation with the Council of Architects and Urbanists, with the different mayors in different cities, Roma, Milano, Bologna, Napoli, and with the middle cities, because one of the key points of this concept is that we could apply this concept in a big city and at the same time in a small city or even in a rurality. I hope that the next year, after delivering our report to the Italian authorities as the scientific committee of the architects urbanists in Italy, we will have the possibility for discussing, for proposing this way for whole Italy.
Allora, io approfitto della presenza del professor Moreno, faccio ancora una domanda perché mi dicono dalla regia che siamo in attesa, abbiamo un piccolo cambiamento di scaletta, si sta per collegare con noi il Ministro delle Imprese del Made in Italy Adolfo Urso, il suo intervento era previsto dopo. Allora, professore, ci dica un'altra cosa, lei ha detto che questo modello si potrebbe effettivamente realizzare in Italia, ma adesso per fare una battuta, io vivo a Roma in 15 minuti a volte ci si parcheggia e basta, in 15 minutes is not a sort of the thing that you can do all around, but it's just the time that you have to park. So what are the three, just say us three things, we have 3 minutes left before the minister, the three key points that we have to realize to change our cities in a country so così ancorato al passato, so committed to the history.
Yes. If we wanted to put it in a shell with just 3 strategic points, the first one is to elaborate a diagnostic of the use of the services in a daily life in the different cities. We could observe with a diagnostic where people live, where people work, where people have access to medical services, where people have access for shopping, where people have access for enjoying. When we have this possibility for elaborate this digital map with the different colors, we could observe the separations, the long distances, the long commute, and the difficulty for offering a real high quality of life. First point, a very precise diagnostic. Second point, after elaborating a diagnostic, to discuss with the mayors, with the private sector, with the leaders of the economic activities, and with the different academics for proposing not a magic wand for transforming in a new few months, because this is impossible, for elaborating a roadmap, a trajectory, for providing a different access to the different functions. The key element, the massive mixity, to develop the multipurpose functions, to develop the multipurpose uses of building. And the third point is to change our mindset for fostering this model, for developing more local activities, more local employers. In one sentence, to revitalize neighborhood. Automatically, we will reduce our long commute and we will change the economic business model of the different cities and neighborhoods.
Thank you so much, Professor
Thank you,
Carlos
Lorenzo.
Moreno.
Grazie mille.